All right, guys, we have a cool custom knife here today from my buddy Cliff up in Alaska. So this is from Enrique Pena, and this is a very cool, I don't want to say slip joint because it's a liner lock, but there's no clip. So it's really kind of a gentleman's folder, if you will, even though it is a little thick for some of the other gentleman folders that I have handled in the past. But this one is very cool. It's a little small for my taste necessarily. However, being kind of that gentleman's folder, discreet, in the suit carry, you want a smaller knife. So, you just... when I wear a suit, my typical suit knife is my Dragon Lady Bodega from Big Knives. That's my typical one I carry in a suit because I personally don't care if there's a pocket clip hanging out. A lot of people, though, if you wear a suit and whatnot, it's going to be really discreet and you don't want a pocket clip hanging out because, well, you're in a suit. So I get it. This would be great for that. So this is one of the custom ones. Enrique Pena does have the Pena X series, which they make this same knife in the X series, which are the production versions. The production ones are in that 275 to 300 range. The custom ones for this particular knife are 850 and up. Okay, so that's a little bit about the knife. Let's just dive into the specs and then we'll do a close-up. So closed is just a hair over 3 3/4, and that's from the very top of the flipper to the end of the scale. So it is a front flipper / top flipper, which is a little awkward for me because typically I'm going to use the pocket clip to help my fingers, kind of anchor onto something. Whereas here, I don't have anything to anchor onto other than the scale itself. But as I have been handling this for several days, I'm getting more used to it. So it's just something you get used to. Front flipper, top flipper type things are not generally my favorite style of opening, but they work really well. Overall is 6 5/8. The blade is 2.92. The cutting edge is 2.73. I believe this is CPM 154. That's what Enrique uses a lot of. I could not find this exact knife online, but I believe it's 154, CPM 154. Blade thickness is 0.115. Overall thickness is 0.554. And it weighs in at 2.2 ounces, and it runs on bearings, okay? But again, just because something's on bearings does not mean it's going to drop shut. It's all in how it's tuned. Okay? It has a beautiful, I don't even think the camera does it justice, a beautiful red carbon fiber scales and backspacer. This is the level of detail you're getting, is you don't feel the seam. You can feel a little bit because the liner is a different texture slightly than the carbon fiber, but there's no seam. I mean, it's slightly perceptible on the backside there, but yeah, same with the inlay. You can barely tell that that's there other than the fact that it's a different material, so it feels a little bit different. Just the fit and finish is amazing. I've met Enrique before at California Custom Knife Show, and totally cool guy to just sit and chat with. This is a spear point blade. They make this in the X series with more of a clip point blade. But this is just a really cool, fun knife that is just a prime example of custom handmade knives and just what a true craftsman can do. So I am really grateful for Cliff sending this in because I've never owned a Pena knife. There was a model that I really wanted early on, years ago when I got into knives. It was the flipper, and it was the semi-dirty diesel. And there was one that had really cool titanium anodized blue backspacer with like a gear pattern and all that. I would still. So if anybody has a Pena diesel, because they came in a dirty diesel, they came in a semi-dirty diesel, and there was just a diesel. And what that was the different finishes on the blade. The semi-dirty diesel, I think, was the two-tone blade. It had kind of a stone-washed, like a black-washed, and then the bevels were satin. If I remember, it's been a while. Let's do a couple size comparisons. But if anybody has a flipper model, the diesel flipper model of any configuration, please reach out. I would love to check one out. Here it is with the number 2 pencil and a Sharpie. The Spider Codelica that at some point I promise I will clean the blade, since it's kind of dull and I can't really use it for unboxings right now because it's dull and I need to send it out to get it sharpened. I should at least clean the blade. But yeah, I love this one because it's glow in the dark. I don't know if it's dark enough here and if the camera will pick that up. Yeah, it picks it up a little bit. So the whole thing is glow in the dark, which is very cool. So I will keep this one because of that fact alone. Here it is next to the D-cell battery and the AA battery. And because I have it out on the table, how about the Benchmade 940, which I think is a fairly good comparison. The Benchmade 940 is obviously bigger, but it's still very slim and thin for the pocket. And last but not least, because it's here, and there is some red here, the Hellraiser P series. This is the manual version. And what the heck, here is the automatic version. Same size and shape and all of that. But just, oh man, just crazy awesome knives. So Cliff, thank you very much for sending this in. This is just a treat to handle and to get to share with everybody. So thanks a lot, everyone. Have yourselves a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.